the more we constantly understanding that, a man that indulges in comfort, there's plenty of guys out there, man, they indulge in comfort.
Mhm.
They usually are not, you know, growing the soul, growing the inner aspect of that man, growing the character of that man. So that's why delayed gratification comes in play, because gratification, right? Usually, when you talk about gratification, it's usually an external source. It's not something from within, unless it's something like I would say, what, like you get pleasure out of being with a significant other, and you go bust a nut, or you
Mhm.
go and, let's say, and you eat something, right? And you feel now you're
Hamburger, some
satisfied,
shit.
you're gratified.
Yeah.
Yeah, you feel gratified. No, I'm talking about growing as a man. I'm talking about
Mhm.
growing in philosophy, growing as in aspects that build the character of yourself, that one day, right, is seen by others as this magnificent virtue that you've developed. That is what we talk about when we talk about pursuing true gratification in the end. And that's why you delay gratification.
This is what you're talking about, the work ethic, right, bro? The work ethic. This is where the
Mm-hmm.
work ethic comes in. You put in the work, and guess what happens when you put in the work? Guess what happens? That's the delayed gratification. You know that if you go and you eat this hamburger or this delicious French fries from McDonald's, it's good, right? But what happens a couple hours later? You're like, damn, I shouldn't have ate that, right? And I mean, it's crazy because I used to go. So if everybody that knows me, well, we grew up on 136th Street. So they used to have this store called Bus Stop, right? I couldn't go into Bus Stop and get a burger because my dad told him, because he knew I like burgers. But he told him, he said, if you give my son a burger, I'll find out. So this little corner spot, it's like a diner type stuff. You go in there and they have the burgers there ready. They frying the burgers, they frying the fries and all that. And I would go in there. These people look at me. Can I get a burger with fries? Oh yeah, sure. Right. And they would play it along. They would be like, "Oh, well, come and I'll give you a burger." I come out and guess what they get me? White rice, barbecue chicken, and beans. Yo, these people, they were like, "Yeah, yeah, you chill, son. We know what you want. You need the fuel." And it's funny because now looking back at it, I didn't know for the longest time you was telling them, if you give my son a burger, we're gonna have problems. And it's crazy because every single time, like I would try to get a burger, I'm like, oh, let me get a burger, let me get a burger. No, they didn't play no games. But when you're that stature as a man, because my dad don't like to boast, I boast him up all day. My dad walked around with a presence, and people respected my dad. But the thing is, when you put in work, as my dad put in work, there's a certain, I guess, realm that you have to be in sometimes, because obviously he's on the fence mode sometimes, because he thinks a lot of people around him are there, and rightly so. It's a dog eat dog world, right? But when you walk around with that presence and you walk around with confidence because you put in the work, right? You gotta put in the work. You
Yep.
gotta put in the work with everything, right, bro? I
You
mean,
got to.
let's
You
be honest.
got to.
You gotta put,
You
but the
got
thing is,
to.
when you put in that work ethic, there's a certain type of confidence, swagger. It's not cockiness, because you put in the work. You won't. It's a different type of feel, and you'll notice. Like, say you take a 1,000 jump shots. You're gonna take that jump shot in the game a little different, right? But when you take 100 jump shots, maybe 50 jump shots, you're gonna take that jump shot with cockiness, like, oh, I'm gonna make it, but then you miss, right? But then what happened when Kobe was on the court? Kobe knew his fadeaway was gonna go in. What happened to Michael Jordan? What he did when he did the fadeaway, he knew that shit was going. You know why? Because he did that shit 10,000 times. That's what we trying to get at when we talk about things when it comes to delayed gratification. That's what I want to harp on. This is what my dad's been telling me for my entire life. Right, Pa? Work ethic,
Absolutely.
delayed gratification. Work ethic, delayed gratification. If you don't get anything from this episode, this is what I want y'all to get. Delayed gratification, work ethic. When it comes to discipline as a father, when you teaching your son, matter of fact, I'm gonna let my dad do this.